Hi everyone, welcome to a tutorial for Christmas cheer. Of course, there are instructions in the book for the different crafts, but in case any of them are not clear, I thought I would make a few tutorials. So the one I'm going to do today is for the ornament activity. Here is one already made. This is the large one. So you'll notice that some of the pages, some of the ornament activities, for example, this one with the gingerbread men and the cookies and the candy canes, this one has 20 big circles. Some of the other ones, for example, the one with the stars and lights, this one has 40 smaller circles. So this one will actually make 2 ornaments. And so what I did was I went ahead and I colored in the one with the gifts and the stockings. And so this is half the page because I've already scored and cut out half of the page. Now, what you may want to do is cut out all the circles and then mix and match how you want to put the pieces together. To save time, I just did half the page, so with the other half I will make a second ornament. So what you do, of course, is using a ruler and a sharp pen or pencil or any tool. You can use a toothpick or something like that. So using a ruler, you would just score all along the triangle lines. Now, here's a little tip. I forgot to put something under my paper, and so my table has little dents and scratches, but this is my art table, so I'm not too concerned. But if you're working on a good table, make sure you put some kind of padding underneath. You could use a thick piece of cardboard, and that should be fine. But I was pressing very hard with a fine tip pen, and so I've got some scratch marks. So, learn from my mistakes. So once I scored all the triangles, I then cut out the circles, and because you've scored them, they fold very easily along the triangle lines. So I cut out all 20 of them, and then what you do is you can just mix and match. I try to get colors that are not too similar together, but if you can arrange it however you want. And so what you do is you take 5 of the triangles or circles, 5 of these shapes, put them together in this kind of formation, kind of like a flower. So you need 2 like this. So once I glue these 5 pieces together, they will look like this. And that's the underside. Then with the remaining 10 pieces, these you will actually put in a row, alternating up and down. So the triangles will mix those up a little bit. So these you will put in a row like this, and then you will glue the sides together. And this will make a ring when you're done. So you do the 2 caps. This would be this side, and then the opposite side, and then this is the row or the ring that goes around the middle. So I'm going to show you. Now you can use a glue stick, you can use double-sided tape. I really like Sakura's Quickie Glue pen. It dries really easily, it's got a fine tip. Zig has a glue marker as well, but just a regular cheap old dollar store glue stick will do. So basically all you have to do is apply some glue on a flap, put the 2 pieces together, just press them together. Okay, then I take another piece, press some glue, traffic outside. It's a beautiful day. It's September 1st actually, and Christmas Cheer will be releasing in 15 days. I'm very excited, but it's a beautiful day in Montreal and I've got my window open, so apologies in advance if you hear traffic. All right, so I've got, oops, sorry. So on the last piece, you're going to glue 2 flaps because you're going to stick that in there and press these 2 flaps together and then these 2 together. So you get your little pentagon shape on the inside. It's a little finicky sometimes. There you go. Don't worry about being overly precise. Once the ornament comes together, you can't really see if the lines are perfectly matched up. I mean, look at this, you know, it just works. So don't worry if your first one doesn't come up perfectly, but even if it's not super straight, it's perfect because you made it and you had fun doing it, hopefully. Okay, see, I didn't match these 2 very well. I'm a little picky, so I'm just gonna reattach that. Okay, there we go. So now I've got my 2 caps. So these will go like this, and then this row will go in between. So I'm gonna pause while I quickly glue those together, and I will be right back. Actually, I'm back because I wanted to point out when we did this circle, we put these 3 pieces together. Now, then we put this piece there, right? But we're gonna do this a little differently because we're going in a straight line. This 4th piece will come here. So rather than putting all the points together, we're going to alternate. So let me do one more piece and then I'll finish the row and come back. Okay, so see, we've got 5 in a row, and I'm just going to continue, and then I'm going to join the 2 ends together. Okay, I'm back. So I've glued these 10 pieces together. So you see it makes a row. It kind of reminds me of this puzzle we had back in the 80s, probably. It was like a little plastic snake thing that folded into itself and you can make different shapes. Anyway, so it kind of reminds me of that. So this is what it looks like on the inside. This is what it looks like on the outside. So now we need to close that ring. So I'm going to put glue on one end, bring that together. Oops. Just squeeze that. All right, so now this is what we're left with. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. So this is what we're left with. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach this piece on this side and this piece on this side, and you will end up with a ball. So this part is a little trickier, but not too difficult. So I'm going to put glue on each of these outer flaps. Now, lining this up can be a little bit tricky, but don't worry. If you need to, you can pull the pieces apart. So I start with one flap. I get one flap really secure. Move to the next one, just squeeze that in there. Press. Third flap. And then the 4th flap. And there we go. So I just give all those connections a little squeeze, just press them really well. So now we kind of have like a cup or a bowl. Okay, so that's what we're left with. And the last step is to now attach this here. So put glue on each flap. Not being too precise, as long as there's enough glue to stick. All right, so same thing. And if you really want to, you can kind of look and see, okay, exactly where do I want it, but I think for most of us, it really won't make a difference. So I'll attach one flap first. Two. Hope I'm not holding this too close to the camera. There we go. Trying to center this. As you can tell, I'm a little bit new to recording videos and tutorials, but I'm willing to try something new too. So while you learn how to make these ornaments, I'm learning how to record videos. So there you go. It's all put together, and I think that looks pretty fun. Let me zoom out again. So now all you have to do is maybe figure out which way you want it, you know, how you want it to look when it's hanging. Like, where's the top going to be? Where's the bottom going to be? And then, so if I want it to hang like this, I would just take a needle, just take a big needle, poke a hole through there. It's probably the best thing to use. I wouldn't use a hole puncher unless you have one with a very small hole. The best thing is like a darning needle or something like that. Just poke a hole, and then you can either use, you know, a nice ornament hook. You can just put some thread in there, a paper clip, whatever, and that's it. And so what I would, and you can see the difference in size. So this is how they will look. This is the one with the 20 circles. This is the page with the 40 circles. So if I were now to continue with this half of the sheet, I would have a matching ornament. Not exactly the same, but they would sort of be coordinated with their colors. And that's it. So I hope you will send me pictures of your creations. Tag me on Instagram. I do have a private Facebook group where you can put pictures, and there is a link to that on my Christmas page on annhovsepian.com/Christmas. So I hope to hear from some of you soon, and tell your friends. Thanks. Bye.